Rock on the Range live from the Grunt Style Artist Lounge with 99.7 The Blitz.
All right, live from the Grunt Style Artist Lounge, it's Ronni, Hunter, and Hagar. We're kind of sandwiching Neil Sanderson from 3 Days Grace, who were set to go on stage today at Rock on the Range. It's day 2, Mother Nature, you didn't kick our ass yet, of Rock on the Range 2018. How are you, Neil?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Good to see you. You have the most amazing smile.
Oh,
Can
yeah?
you just look at the camera and just give it a big...
Ding, can you put a ding in?
Yeah.
Ding.
Ding.
Thank you, I just brushed.
You did?
Yeah.
I haven't brushed my teeth since yesterday. No, I'm kidding.
Right on.
Although yesterday I hadn't brushed my teeth since the yesterday before that. But today
Right.
I'm good.
I think that's accepted at any rock festival.
I think it is.
It's fine.
Listen, mud, no deodorant, smell, no teethy brushy, no needed.
Go for it.
All right, so let's get to the album, the new record, Outsider. Matt Walsh, this is the second one with Matt from My Darkest Days. And when you released Human in 2015 to this new record, was the process of writing, recording, or anything a little bit different?
It was different, yeah. I mean, you know, it's crazy. It's Matt's been in the band for 5.5 years now.
It is
time's
weird.
flying, but we haven't really stopped. We've either been on the road or in the studio or writing, mostly on the road. But you know, being Matt, you know, Brad's brother, our bass player's brother, it's like he's always kind of been around, so we didn't have to. There wasn't sort of any growing pains with like getting to know. It was
Yeah.
just, 'cause he's family and he's always been around. But you know, in those 5.5 years, we've been to Russia like 3 times. Europe's really kind of opened up for us, which has been great. We just keep going back, and we have a lot of fun over there. And like, you know, North American fans have just like embraced the whole thing and the music and the live show and everything, and been on this journey with us, you know. And that took a little bit of time, but in that time, you know, as a band, we spent so much time together in confined spaces.
Yeah.
Airplanes, buses, you know, dressing rooms.
Farting together.
A lot of that, yeah, everything. You know, you see the best and worst, right? And so, you know, we've grown as a unit, as a band, and I think the confidence levels come with that can only come from hours on stage. You know, we've been, like I said, touring nonstop, so a lot of hours on stage. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that can really build that thing to the next level where it needs to be, and
Yeah.
we're excited that that's where our headspace is at. Yeah.
And it had to, you know, when you're coming from a band that had been generated for years with Adam, and losing a lead singer, it's almost like a really scary platform. But with having it be in the family, and like you said, with Matt have grown up and been around the family, it was just seemed like such a seamless transition, which is fantastic. And you didn't even miss a beat with the last 2 records.
Well, I mean, you know, first of all, I think, you know, one of the most exciting things about the music industry and arts and stuff is you never really know what's going to happen around the corner, and so you're just kind of navigating these waters that you don't really know what they are.
Right.
But you know, if we kind of consider this whole experience to be a journey that's got different chapters in it, and you know what I mean, and so
Yeah.
That kind of, so that's why we there was no question that we would just like, this is what we're going to do. It feels like it was meant to be, and we're going to go full on and do it and make the best music we can, and
Yeah.
you know, to kind of release it, put it out there, and have it really accepted and really people like excited about it on this level is it's very gratifying, but we've like worked really hard, you know.
Neil Sanderson, 3 Days Grace, set to hit the Monster main stage here as we're in the Grunt Style Artist Lounge. I think we just heard Corey Taylor next door screaming in Slipknot style. I'm pretty sure. Did you hear that?
Very much like it, yeah.
So, being Canadian, are you guys huge hockey fans, I've got to guess? Because the song was throughout all of the hockey stuff, which was really cool, like all the drafts and like the finals and everything. Did they approach you about that, or did you go, here's our song, The Mountain?
Well, a little bit of both. Like we're like, yes, you're right about all those things about the like we're crazy hockey fans, and you know, so our management knows it's like a big deal for us if they get, you know, so the fact when the opportunity came and NHL thought that the Mountain was right for all their like the whole North American playoff feed of everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny though, as Canadians, like my family, my uncles and stuff, you know, they're so old school. They're like Northern Canadian guy, like Bushmen. They don't understand.
Ice
They don't
fish
even
and
know.
stuff.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care anything. They don't understand that anything special about this little band that we have. But when we're on hockey,
Oh,
then that's when you get the calls like, I'm really proud of you. You guys are really onto something. You might have a career here.
we're celebrating Hockey Day. Listen, the mountain's on, Dad.
Yeah, that's big. You know, that carries a lot of street cred. A lot of street cred in Canada.
Yeah. And speaking of Canada and hockey, you've got Winnipeg as the last team left. Is that who you're pulling for? Are you looking at Vegas?
Well, Vegas. You know what? Vegas has got a great story. Like, it's their first year. If they go the distance, it'll be like history in the making. And they're all kind of like misfit players that like some of them were like unsigned, just kind of in the twilight of their career, and they just came together, or were underdogs to like.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but I'm still, my heart's in to see Winnipeg. I was in a pub in Columbus last night, just that way, I think.
Yeah, all right.
And when I watched Vegas beat them, it was a little bit rough.
It was a good game, but you would even say that Vegas would be the outsiders of the NHL.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Look
at that,
you
right?
go.
Yeah,
that was a power move.
Thank you.
Hagar's the
I appreciate that. I really put it down there.
Well, you talk about, with the record, The Outsider, you guys have always kind of been the artists that you said kind of write for The Outsider, and you're comfortable with that. And it's kind of like you're writing music for people like you, and it's about kind of finding your place. Do you feel as you guys produce records and you write music that you're finding your place every day, or how does that sort of work for you?
I don't know about finding our place as much as like removing ourselves from the place in general.
Yeah.
That's like, so it's a struggle. I think a lot of people can, I think, hear that. I mean, how do you do that without like being a reclusive weirdo, or like being like alienating your friends or whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
I alienate my friends every day.
Yeah, but then the flip side of it is like, I found myself, I'd wake up and I'd be laying in bed and I'd grab my phone and I would read the most horrific news I've ever read, and then I would read someone's shitty opinion about something that I didn't care about, but now I do. It's like, and then like people have all this recreational outrage where they read something and it's gonna be like, I'm all of a suddenly really angry about this for the next little bit.
Yeah, right.
So I was finding myself before I even got out of bed, I was pissed off. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Outsider touches on that kind of. It's not a social media record, but it's like, holy crap! Like everyone's easily offended, but also has a really like poignant opinion.
Yes.
I'm not generalizing everybody. I'm just saying that just the way it feels right now. And I think Outsider's also that of just like, how do I remove myself from that craziness so that I can make sense of it from a distance, and like not be in so close that like I'm like it's turning me insane.
Yeah, and it's hard because you get inundated on social media, and I mean you literally just go to Facebook or Twitter or any of that stuff, and as you're going through, there's always something. And you're right, it's like an immediate reaction to something they've seen, and they never gave a shit about it before, and all of a sudden it's like, and it's a lot of times, yes, and it's just usually like those keyboard guys, that just sit there in the quiet and darkness of their room and nobody knows who they are, and they have this tendency to blast. I mean, I feel like I'm Italian, I react to everything. I see shit and I'm like, but then I got to find my place and step back away from it.
That's the thing, is this, as a band and as this record, like even in the record, we were clear that we're not above it, we're part of it, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about human traits that everybody has a degree of or whatever, but certain modern things allow you to really just go balls out to go.
Oh yeah.
And like I think, again, I think I said it before, but I think it was coined by Joe Rogan, is like there's this new thing of recreational outrage where you just like, what can I do? What can I just get angry or behind or against or really active towards or against today? And it's like, chill out.
Right. How about your J-O-B? That would be great. So, all right, everybody's got a favorite app. Like my new app is actually one that we're using for the station, so we can go out and like interview people with our phones and like have a microphone, all this stuff. That's my new favorite app right now, because you can do all kinds of shit, like edit it and make them sound funny or smarter or whatever, make me sound smarter.
Right.
But what's your favorite app?
Right now, this is like not even close to that, but I just put in like a wireless surveillance system in my house.
Okay.
But it's on my phone, and it's got TalkBack. So I can actually talk to my dog. Like when when there's no one in the house.
Can we talk to your dog right now?
I'm not. No, you can't. But I can, and it's quite loud. So I can like, I can be on the other side of the world and like, Penny, and I can see her. I can see her on the screen. And I just mess with my dog like at 3 a.m. Yeah.
I've had a beer and it's time to mess with my dog. That's fantastic.
It's actually
great.
It's actually kind of pathetic once you word it like that.
I have 3 rescues, and now I want to get that because
you need it.
they're fucking maniacs. That would be the coolest thing ever.
You can get them in trouble remotely.
What's your dog's name?
Penny.
Penny. What kind of dog?
She's a Marama sheepdog. Great big dog. They're like this slightly smaller cousin of the Great Pyrenees.
Oh,
and they only come in white, and they're like giant teddy bears, but they'll if like, you know, and we're the flock and she's protecting the flock. So if someone comes into the flock a little hot, like, she will grow a foot taller.
I'm getting a visual now of you going, Penny, and watching her big ass like slide into a room and knock a table over. Oh my God, she just took a wall out. Shit.
The surveillance.
Did you have any more?
Well, the one question I had when I first heard The Mountain, my dad is a huge Miley Cyrus fan, and so he played that song The Climb for years. And when I first heard The Mountain, I was like, this is the hard rock Miley Cyrus. This is the better version of that song I had to listen to for 5 years. Did you pull any inspiration from Miley Cyrus? Did you make that connection?
Do you know what? My buddy wrote that song.
Really?
John May wrote that song. Yeah, he's like a really acclaimed Nashville writer.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine. I've been buddies for a while. So if he's listening right now, he might start thinking that I copped his tune.
Oh no! I didn't mean to start drama.
No. I knew the song. We knew the song was out there, but I think ours was just like more about like. Maybe hers is too, but it's just about waking up to your reality, and for better or for worse, you have no choice but to like put one foot in front of the other.
Absolutely.
Like, because the other option is like really grim. So I don't know if she was like thinking that dark, but we generally tend to go to the dark side when we're writing songs. It's when you like can kind of pull that out of you, the real kind of dark, dredgy stuff that ends up like on paper and becoming some of the most powerful songs we have. Yeah,
absolutely.
Matt was going to swing on a wrecking ball for the video, but we went, it was going to be like more of a crane. But then we went with the MMA instead.
I like the MMA idea.
Yeah.
I actually, when I heard the album title, I was thinking like Pony Boy, like S.C. Hinton and the whole movie thing, Last question real fast for you. With 1X and this record, you use the same crew. You kind of rejoined with some of the dream team, as you would say.
Yeah.
How did you kind of pull them together and you decided to do that? How'd that happen?
Well, so we use 2 producers who we've worked with have most of our successes with in the past. Gavin Brown, who was instrumental in the beginning, really sort of helped
these chords.
Yeah, I'm all tangled up down here.
You can't leave.
That's okay. He was really, he helped us kind of find ourselves, what our sound was, what we were writing about. He always helped draw a lot of great material. We always collaborate. We've always collaborated lyrically. We all bring in little nuggets of ideas and just kind of put them together as like, what's the A list of ideas, and we kind of go from there. He kind of taught us how to do that better. And he produced our first record, our debut album. He was involved in some of the stuff early on with 1X. We decided to move over and work with Howard Benson, who is a acclaimed producer down in LA.
Yeah.
And 1X became what it was, and we always just admired that experience. Howard then produced the following album, and then so we like to experiment, so we're not afraid to kind of go in a new direction with personnel. But later in those years, we were like, man, could you imagine if we had Gavin and Howard? So we had like Gavin's influence. He's kind of a cheerleader. He's kind of he can get us going and get us creative and in the right headspace and all that kind of stuff to be creative, and he's got a great cheese meter, all that stuff. Howard, he's an amazing vocal producer, a great keyboardist, piano player. He's got scientific harmony ideas and stuff like that.
Look, I'm like listening.
Yeah. So we put them 2 together, and this is what we got.
Yeah.
And then we brought in Chris Lord-Alge to mix it. He's kind of been our go-to for so long.
So
I went down, hung out with him for the mix.
Did you really?
Yeah, there's video footage of us of him putting the finishing touches on the mountain actually somewhere. I don't know where it is, but.
Where did you guys record to kind of come out? Did you go somewhere special to get that kind of sound that you were looking for, kind of that influence? Where did you record?
It was more the writing process.
Yeah.
We definitely I've got a place out in the country that's kind of really isolated and chill, and we got some 4-wheelers, and snowmobiles and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and we didn't want to drive downtown Toronto and write this record like a human, because you'd show up and you'd be like angry.
Stressed out.
At, oh, this traffic and rush hour and all that stuff. You're not very creative after all that, or we weren't. So I think just that like outdoor vibe, let's have a fire. And we had just come back from a huge like Eastern European Russian tour, so we kind of had to like just bro out for a bit and just like
drink some beer.
we've been
Yeah,
we've
let
been
it
this
mellow.
close, like on trains and planes, all that, automobiles as well. And we were just like had to make sure there was no like bad blood, so that like someone wasn't going to get murdered out in the woods.
Sorry. And I guess they're telling us we got to wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
But I did want to just show you this.
Okay, that's
You
amazing.
just looked at it.
Yeah, is
Do
that
you know
still
the
a?
game?
Oh yeah, but
It's still a thing.
it's still a thing.
Yes. And here, look, this is what I normally do, and I'm blaming it on Monica again. She goes, you should put it between your legs, and you should go, look what I got between my legs. And then everybody looks at it. It's so stupid. Cheese
I think
Factory.
I've seen something similar to this at Forbidden Pleasures. It's a little it's different. It's not as sharp. It's
Hold
not
on.
as sharp on top.
Hold
It's a
that-
little
hold
more
that real
dull.
still.
Yeah, the nails are cut down a little better.
Just hold on to that. Grab that really fast.
Yeah, it does. They do fit
Oh,
together.
they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Wow,
We learned that from Trivium today, Hagar said.
amazing.
Didn't know that. All
That's
right.
abstract art right there.
So from Neil Sanderson, his dog Penny, and the Grunt Style broadcast area at the what is it called? The Grunt Style Artist Lounge. This will defend and rock on the range backstage. Neil, thank you so
Thank you.
much. 3 Days of Grace,
Thank you.
hitting the main stage today
Thank
for
you.
number 12 at Mafre Stadium. Hagar and Ronnie, see y'all later. Thank you so much. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
Hey, Penny.